Welcome to Damn Good Movie Memories with your host, Brian Davis. This podcast is the cure for your long commute and super boring workday. Hey there, it's Brian Davis, and for this week's episode, we're going to court. We're going to trial, and hopefully we don't go to jail, but if you do go to jail, you can listen to our episode on prison movies, and you would enjoy that too. But for now, we're trying to stay out of jail, but we're going to go to court. And I have a top 10 list. Let me start with it now. All right, my number 10 is Presumed Innocent from 1990. This is a terrific legal thriller starring Harrison Ford, Bonnie Bedelia, Raul Julia, and Brian Dennehy. The film is based on the novel of the same name by Scott Turow. Now, fans of Law & Order and the plethora of other TV detective shows should love this movie. The acting is just terrific, and the ending is pretty unexpected for most viewers. Great twist. And if you watch a lot of mysteries and shows and things like that, you may guess it. But again, for me to try to describe out the plot, I don't want to give any spoilers. So take my word for it. Check it out. Terrific, especially if you like Harrison Ford. All right, number 9 is 12 Angry Men from 1957. Now, you might think this is kind of a cheat because technically they're not in the courtroom at all. It's all in the jury box, or in the jury room trying to determine a verdict. But it's close enough. It's part of the legal process. I'm going to give it a pass. And it's just a fascinating film because the entire movie takes place literally in one room, which is very Hitchcockian, a thing to do that he would do. The film is about a sequestered jury who must determine the fate of a young man accused of murder. Now, at first glance, the decision seems cut and dry, but one of the jurors, played by Henry Fonda, pleads with the 11 other jurors to discuss every possible scenario before passing judgment. It's really a fascinating look at human nature and how the jury system works. In addition to Fonda, you get a bunch of well-known actors, including Lee J. Cobb, Jack Klugman, Jack Warden, Ed Begley, and E.G. Marshall. Number 8 is The Verdict from 1982. Really powerful courtroom drama starring Paul Newman, Charlotte Rampling, Jack Warden, and James Mason. I just realized Jack Warden's going to be in a lot of this. He's in another one coming up. Newman is just fabulous, as he always is, as a lowly alcoholic lawyer who once had aspirations of greatness but was framed for jury tampering. Due to the tainted stigma he has, he turned to drinking and became a glorified ambulance chaser. Newman decides to take on a medical malpractice case thinking he can make a quick score financially, but the case starts to take shape and he realizes that he's onto something way bigger than just money. I believe Newman was nominated for an Oscar. I'm not sure if he won, but I mean, you really can't go wrong with Paul Newman, and this is definitely one of his best later era movies. All right, number 7 is Suspect from 1987, and this stars Cher, Dennis Quaid, and Liam Neeson. There's also great character actors like John Mahoney and Joe Mantegna. Just really well done. And we had talked about Cher previously in Musician Actors, and she's in the 80s. She could do no wrong. And here she plays a defense attorney who's trying to basically get a man off. He's a homeless man who is accused of murder, who may or may not have done it. He's kind of mute in many ways. I believe he's deaf. And so she's just trying to work her way through this, and he's not very welcoming to her. And then Dennis Quaid decides to help her with possibly some jury tampering. Anyway, it's a really done, complex film, and definitely check it out if you missed it. Number 6 is Adam's Rib from 1949, and this is probably my favorite Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn movie. They starred in 9 movies total together. Tracy and Hepburn are always wonderful, but the real treat here is Judy Holliday in a supporting role which adds comedy to the film. So here's the plot. Tracy and Hepburn are married lawyers who disagree on a local case involving Judy Holliday. Holliday shot her husband in the arm and is suspected when she suspected he was having an affair. So Tracy believes that Holliday should be charged with attempted murder, while Hepburn empathizes with Holliday, believing there's a double standard regarding adultery for men and women. Tracy ends up being picked to be the prosecutor on the case, and so Hepburn decides to become Holliday's defense lawyer. And of course, the fireworks ensue.
Why don't you let him go
by?
He
wants the whole road. Now look, all I'm trying to say is that there are lots of things that a man can do, and in society's eyes, it's all hunky-dory. A woman does the same thing, the same, mind you, and she's an outcast.
Finished?
No. Now, I'm not blaming you personally, Adam, because this is so.
Oh, well, that's awfully large of you.
No, it's not your fault. All I'm saying is, why let this deplorable system seep into our courts of law where women are supposed to be equal?
Mostly, I think, females get advantages.
We don't want advantages. And we don't want prejudices.
Don't get excited, honey, and don't. Oh, you're giving me the Britain Mole, right?
Well, what did she try to do? She tried to keep her home intact.
Yeah, by knocking off her husband.
She didn't knock him off. He's alive. She didn't kill him.
She tried. She missed.
Well, all right. Now, supposing...
What do you want to do? Give her another shot at him?
No, I don't. Something burns my goat.
Your what?
My goat, my goat.
Crime should be punished, not condoned.
If a woman commits
Anybody commit. Here, pull over.
Oh.
Lady drivers, you'll put me away yet.
Number 5 is A Few Good Men from 1992. Now, usually the first thing that comes to mind for this movie is the famous Jack Nicholson line, which is, "You can't handle the truth." If you've already seen the movie a few times, you'll find yourself trying to remember when the line is delivered. However, when I first saw it in the theater, I would have never guessed that the line would become so iconic. And actually, it's a shame that it's pretty much only known for that. But there's much more to it. It's one of the best courtroom movies there is. And I've always enjoyed the acting in this film because, of course, you get Nicholson, Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Kevin Pollak, Kevin Bacon, and Kiefer Sutherland. So if you missed this movie the first time around, you got to be sure to check it out. And again, it's a powerful scene with Nicholson at the end, and it's going to get the sound bites, but there's much more to this film than just that. The acting's just terrific.
Colonel, I just need a copy of Santiago's transfer order.
What's that?
Santiago's transfer order. You guys have paperwork on that kind of thing. I just need it for the file.
For the file?
Yeah.
Of course, you can have a copy of the transfer order for the file, Danny. I'm here to help in any way I can.
Thank you.
You believe that, don't you, Danny? That I'm here to help you in any way I can?
Of course.
Corporal will take you by personnel on your way out to the flight line, and you can have all the transfer orders that you want. But you have to ask me nicely.
I beg your pardon?
You have to ask me nicely. You see, Danny, I can deal with the bullets and the bombs and the blood. I don't want money, and I don't want medals. What I do want is for you to stand there in that faggoty white uniform and with your Harvard mouth extend me some fucking courtesy. You gotta ask me nicely.
Colonel Jessup, if it's not too much trouble, I'd like a copy of the transfer order. Sir.
No problem.
Number 4 is The Runaway Jury from 2003. This is a fabulous legal thriller based on the novel of the same title by John Grisham. The movie stars John Cusack, Gene Hackman, Dustin Hoffman, and Rachel Weisz. So my dad's a huge fan of Grisham's work and owns all of his books, so this story was already on my radar. When I heard that both Gene Hackman and Dustin Hoffman were going to be in the film, I was all in. Interestingly enough, this is the first film that the duo had appeared in. The basic plot involves jury tampering based on the trial of a gun manufacturer who's being sued by the widow of a man killed during a mass shooting at his office 2 years prior. The story is very well crafted and suspenseful, and definitely worth checking out if you're into legal dramas. I believe in the novel, though, instead of being a gun manufacturer, I believe it had to do with big tobacco. Don't quote me on that, though.
Excuse me, we're cleaning up in here. Am I going to get beat up now, Mr. Rohr?
What'd you do to my witness? Threaten his family? Write him a check? Just curious about what your technique is, Mr. Fitch.
Maybe he decided against biting the hand that fed him these past few years.
You know exactly why he came to us.
Oh, please. Don't tell me you hung your case on somebody's conscience.
I hung my case on my own conscience.
Oh. I get it now. You are a moral man living in a world of moral relativity. It's just so quaint, so precious.
Hey! Don't do that! This is about my witness, right? This is about you messing with my client, my case, and the rules of law that govern our country. And
our country?
Yes!
If you're relying on testimony to win this case, you've already lost it, fella. You think this jury cares anything about negligent distribution, product liability?
You bet your ass.
Most of them can't even say the words, let alone understand the meaning. You think your average juror is King Solomon? No. He's a roofer with a mortgage. He wants to go home and sit in his Barca lounger and let the cable TV wash over him. And this man doesn't give a single solitary drop about truth, justice, or your American way.
Number 3 is Anatomy of a Murder from 1959. This is a brilliant courtroom drama directed by Otto Preminger and stars James Stewart, Lee Remick, Ben Gazzara, Eve Arden, and George C. Scott. The movie is still very powerful today, but very controversial at the time of its release, as the movie and trial is centered around the rape of a woman played by Lee Remick. Mainstream movies in the 1950s normally did not get into topics like sex crimes. Murder, yes, sex, not so much. The movie is incredibly thorough and deliberate, therefore the movie is kind of long at 160 minutes. However, the movie does not feel long, especially if you're into the legal process and the research and investigation it takes to get ready for a trial. And as I mentioned before, the cast is amazing, and I'll watch any movie with James Stewart in it. Number 2 is Injustice for All from 1979. Great courtroom drama starring Al Pacino, Jack Warden, who's been in 3 of my top 10, John Forsythe, and Lee Strasberg. Pacino's performance when he gives his opening statement at the end of the film is legendary. I won't give anything away in case you haven't seen the movie before, but if you're interested in legal dramas, this is an excellent movie to check out. And Pacino was spotless in the 70s, and this was a great way to wrap it up. The basic plot involves a defense attorney, played by Pacino, who is being blackmailed by a corrupt judge, played by Forsythe, and he's trying to get him to take his case after the judge is accused of raping a woman. The support cast includes Jeffrey Tambor, Christine Lahti, and Craig T. Nelson.
When you are out of order! You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole trial is out of order! They're out of order!
All right, my number 1 pick, and I don't believe anyone picked it, but it is my favorite, and it's from 1957, and it's Witness for the Prosecution. Charles Laughton is just amazing as a master barrister, which is a lawyer in England who takes on a client, played by Tyrone Power, accused of murdering an older widow for her vast fortune. Laughton is not in good health, and Elsa Lanchester, who is also his wife in real life, plays Laughton's private nurse and tries to keep him from taking the case. The back and forth between Laughton and Lanchester is just hilarious, and Marlene Dietrich rounds out the fine cast of stars. While the entire movie is great, the ending is totally unexpected and makes you want to watch the movie over and over again to see what you missed and how it led up to that ending. So if you're a fan of courtroom movies, again, you gotta watch Witness for the Prosecution. You might have missed it if you're not into old movies, but to me, this had to be number 1.
What a beautiful day. I've been hoping we'd have a bit of sun for our homecoming. I always say it's worth having all the fog just to appreciate the sunshine. Is there too much of draft? Shall I roll up the window?
Just roll up your mouth. You talk too much. If I'd have known how much you talked, I'd never have come out of my coma. This thing weighs a ton.
Now, we've been flat on our back for 2 months. We'd better be careful. Lovely. Must be perfectly lovely to live and work in the Inns of Court. How lucky you lawyers are. I almost married a lawyer once. I was in attendance when he had his appendectomy, and we became engaged as soon as he could sit up. And then peritonitis set in, and he went like that.
He certainly was a lucky lawyer.
All right, now let's get into what everyone else has to say in this week's episode. Okay, we're going to court, and we're back with Keith. Welcome back, Keith.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it.
All right, for this one, this has always been one of my but this has always been one of my favorite kind of genres, and it's courtroom dramas. And I don't know, there's just something about, I don't know, the back and forth, and maybe it's not like that in real life. I've been on a jury, and it's definitely, you don't get the dynamics like that, but I've always been fascinated with, the process of law and how certain lawyers can really present their cases. And so it's really fascinating to watch it in a movie, and it can be very powerful. So how many did you come up with for your favorite courtroom dramas?
I've got a couple of honorable mentions, and then I've got a top 5.
Awesome. So I love doing the top 5. So you come through with those.
Yeah, I agree. There's something about watching a courtroom drama on TV that, they never seem to go like that in real life. Even when even like the OJ trial or like the Judas Priest trial, they were never near like that. But of course, that's the magic of movies. So
exactly. Have you ever been on a jury before?
I did get that privilege, I guess, to sit on a jury, and it was nowhere near like that.
So what kind of case was it?
It was a suspected DUI.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people want to get out of it. I totally get it. I actually wanted to be on one because I wanted to see how it went. And I've been on two. One was a personal injury case, and then one was a domestic violence one. That one definitely was not as much fun, but it was still very interesting to see how the process goes,
Yeah.
All right, let's get right into your picks. If you want to do your honorable mentions first, we can do that, or however you want to do it.
Yeah, sure. So my first honorable mention was JFK.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I think at that point, I mean, we all knew the story behind it, but I never really dove deeper into, like, if everything I was told in school and in the history was true. So I thought that was pretty cool, the way they kind of drew it out and kind of said that there could be other options for it.
Mm-hmm. Are you into Oliver Stone at all?
Yeah,
okay.
very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, I went to a high school that was very Doors oriented, like, because the keyboard player for the Doors had graduated from my high school, so you saw pictures of him everywhere. So
Ray Manzarek?
Once that movie came out, we were all like, oh yeah, we all have to see it. It's kind of like the rite of passage for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, that movie, I don't know if it holds up as well now. Obviously the music's amazing, but Val Kilmer, I have a mixed relationship with Val Kilmer, so...
I agree. He's good in some, and then you get the Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yes. So. Oh, there's an amazing podcast called How Did This Get Made? And they did, they always do movies that are, for the most part, pretty bad, or, obviously by the title, How Did This Get Made? And they do an amazing episode on the Island of Dr. Moreau. So, yeah, definitely check that out.
That had to be a tax shelter for the movie company or something that time.
Exactly. Absolutely.
The other honorable mention I had is A Time to Kill.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Andy Grisham. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember a lot of the John Grisham movies, but that one seemed to stick out a little bit more for me.
Yeah, my favorite Grisham, and it's not actually a courtroom drama, but it's obviously with the law, but The Firm. I love The Firm.
Yeah, that one was good too.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 5 is... I'll be honest, I'm not a classic movie guy. Mm-hmm. Usually growing up when it was black and white, I would never watch it, but this was one of the few that I did remember watching and reading the book in high school, was To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a go-to for a lot of people.
So there was just something about that movie that, captured me, I think, because I had to read the book numerous times in high school and give all that. So that made it more interesting for me. My number 4, Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the theater. Yeah, definitely. I think that's Charlize Theron's first movie.
Is it? I don't know. I just remember the insanity of Pacino.
Oh, yeah. He owns that.
That's kind of redundant, I think, insanity in Pacino and acting. But
yeah, and again, like, some people love Keanu. I have a mixed relationship with Keanu, too. So, he's okay in that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed him. My number 3 is probably on most people's list, and it's A Few Good Men.
Oh, definitely.
One of probably the classic courtroom dramas.
Yes, absolutely.
My number 2, this is probably a stretch. I don't know if it's true drama, but I would say some of the courtroom scenes are kind of dramatic, but My Cousin Vinny.
I was grappling with this because it's almost like, I wouldn't even call it a dramedy, but there is drama elements in it. But yeah, I already said to myself, anybody that picks this, I'm not gonna deny it because it's such a great courtroom type movie.
And my number 1, I just like the twists and turns of this whole movie, which was Primal Fear.
Oh, that's a great one. I don't know if anyone's gonna pick that. So that's great with Richard Gere, right?
Richard Gere and Edward Norton.
Yeah, really good, and a great twist at the end.
Yep. No spoiler alerts. We're not giving anything away if they've never seen it. So, but yeah, that's one of the reasons why it sticks in my mind. So.
Absolutely, definitely check out that movie. I think it came out in the mid '90s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was early on in Norton's career.
Yeah, and he's supposedly very difficult to work with, but a tremendous actor.
Yeah, that's I think one of the reasons why he's no longer in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, because he was great as Bruce Banner, but Mark Ruffalo kind of took that over.
Yeah, it's probably easier to work with him. So
definitely. Well, it's kind of like Val Kilmer, they said too. So he kind of screws himself out of some roles, but But anyway, great list. Hope you don't get on a jury anytime soon. So
I'd rather be in the jury than on the other side of that. So yeah.
Great point. As always, thank you so much, Keith.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right, we're back with DJ Metal Mike. Welcome back.
Hey, brother, what's going on, man? How you been?
Doing great. And as always, check out Metal Mike on Tuesdays and Fridays on That Metal Station. You can check out all of his great work. And if you're into hard rock and heavy metal, he'll play whatever you want, too. Isn't that right?
Yeah, thanks for the plug, brother. Yeah, I live, breathe, and eat. And, well, I'm metal, dude.
That's right.
For a soft fat dude, I'm actually pretty metal.
Well, no, you do a great job on the show, and
thanks, brother.
I've listened on Friday nights, because Tuesday's mostly thrash metal, right?
Yeah, it's all thrash. It's
the
Tuesday night thrash bash.
Yeah, which is awesome
4 p.m.
too.
to 8 p.m.
Okay, 4 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, and then on Fridays, what is it?
6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my long show, man. I play all kinds of different subgenres. Everything from old school traditional to thrash to sludge to doom to death, you name it.
Yep.
I pretty much play it. The good stuff, though.
And as good as he is with movies, he definitely knows all of his metal. So you'll really enjoy it. It's a really fun show. And
I appreciate that, brother. Thank
absolutely.
you.
Join the chat room, and he'll take requests and everything.
And like I said, I've said this before, I'll say again, I'm honored to be here. So.
Oh, I'm honored to have you. So let's get right into it. Let's start some drama, but this time it's going to be courtroom dramas. And this one, there's a ton. So I'm curious what you came up with for your favorites.
Yeah, A Few Good Men.
Absolutely.
I think is a fucking awesome courtroom drama. I think everybody's performance in that film was phenomenal. I mean, Jack Nicholson, how can you go wrong with You Can't Handle the Truth, and all that. And Tom Cruise, I think the guy might be a weirdo in real life, but he can act his little fucking ass off.
He can. And there's some good, there's also great supporting actors in that with like Kiefer Sutherland and others. So really well done. Kevin Pollak's great.
Yeah, everybody in it was good. Everybody.
Demi
the
Moore.
guy even played the judge. I mean, there's not one weak link in that film.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
And what was his name? The guy he was a great character actor. And I'm drawing a blank right now.
Is he the one that committed suicide in it?
Yes.
Yeah, I know who you're thinking. Yeah, he's great in that.
Yeah, he was. He was phenomenal.
Yep.
Oh, man, Kramer versus Kramer, man. That's one that just pulls at my heartstrings every damn time I see it.
Won the Academy Award, Best Picture.
Yes, I know. And it was just a really, the whole thing about it, because it wasn't just, it was the, I saw both people's point of view. And even though I still think Mrs. Kramer was wrong for what she did. Not for leaving, if she wasn't happy, I get that. But just to up and leave like she did and just abandon the kid, basically, and then act like it was okay for her to just come back like everything, like as if nothing happened.
Right.
I did have a problem with that. At the same time, though, I did feel sorry for her when his fucking lawyer just goes for the throat and says, were you a failure in the most important relationship of your life?
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to answer the question. She keeps saying it and that. And he just basically yells at her, where are you? And she breaks down and cries. And even Dustin's like, did you have to be so hard on her?
Yeah.
Did you have to be so brutal? And he's like, you want the kid, don't you? It was just, wow, phenomenal film.
First movie to really, I mean, there are probably others, but that's one to really get into divorce and and what you go through the court system,
Oh, the pain and because... Yeah, in that part where he tells her, he's like, I realize now I was wrong, that if a woman wants a career, you're right, I think you're right, and I was, stupid for feeling the way I was. He goes, but by the same token, I don't see where it's written that a woman's a better parent simply because she's a woman.
Right.
And the part where he looks at her and he goes, he basically talks about him and his boy and how they built a life together, and he goes, if you destroy that, it could be irreparable. And he looks right at her and he goes, man, Joanne, please don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it to me again. It's already bad. Because it broke his heart when she left. Obviously, he did not see it coming at all. Mm-hmm. I think he was a guy who was so obsessed with his job and work. And I think he felt like, it was his job to provide for his family. And I think with Mr. Kramer, he was more focused on, if I just provide, that's enough. And obviously it was not.
No, because it goes way beyond that. Yeah.
Yeah, so but a damn good movie.
Oh yeah, and brilliant actors. I mean,
I think he was still in love with her though, deep down, because at the end when he kisses her, it was a good movie, and it was hard because like when the one lawyer says, "Well, your kid almost lost an eye," and he's just like, and then she says, "I would never have said anything to him if I thought he was going to throw that in your face," and I do believe her. I don't think she meant for that to happen, but it was a really good movie, and it really brought home, divorces are hard, man, especially on the little ones.
Yep.
Man.
Well, also, and you bring up a good point about the lawyers. The lawyers really don't care about they're trying to win their case, and they are completely, they're not going to care about feelings when it comes to that, whereas the people actually involved, they're the one that care. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. What are your other ones?
Sleepers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought that was not only is that a great courtroom drama, but it's a great revenge movie.
Yeah.
Love it. Thought everybody in it was great. Really great movie.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Presumed Innocent.
Oh, I'm so glad you picked this because it's such an underrated movie, and what a great...
Oh, it's a great fucking movie, man.
Great twist.
Yes, the whole thing. I mean, that's almost a film that could be a courtroom drama, but almost kind of a neo-noir thing to me, in my opinion. Then I had The Verdict.
Oh,
with Paul Newman.
Yeah.
It's been a number of years since I've seen it, but I definitely remember when I watched it as a kid, it definitely put an impression on me. And I love Paul Newman. He's fucking great.
Yeah, he played. It was kind of like down on his luck lawyer. He's an alcoholic trying to get his groove back, and that's a brutal one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Another one that was brutal that I picked, The Accused.
Oh, yeah. That's for me. That was a one and done.
Yeah. I'm saying, but I feel like I had to put it on the list.
Man. Oh, I agree.
It's just one of those ones that you have to put on the list. But you're right, dude. That's not one I'm like, oh yeah, I can watch A Few Good Men more than once.
Oh, sure.
The Accused is just a little too much, man.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. I mean, it's well done and it's a phenomenal film. I'm not ripping on it at all, but it really doesn't make you feel good about your fellow human beings.
No, not at all.
Sure.
When I was in college, one of my classes made us watch the rape scene, just the rape scene. And walking outside, it's like pretty much everyone looked at, like I felt like dirty just being a male, seeing that scene,
Right. 12 Angry Men.
Absolutely.
I mean, another, that one, Henry Fonda, great movie, great performances all around, and fantastic film.
Definitely. And great character actors in that one, too.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
The Kane Mutiny is another one I have. I love Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah.
I thought his performance in that was fucking amazing. And then you got Fred McMurray, who's the guy who basically sells him out. And I just love the whole film. And then how Jose Ferrer just basically calls him out. Like, this guy, I made him look bad and I did what I had to do to save your asses. But this guy wasn't right. Y'all knew he wasn't right. And instead of trying to get him help, you basically just fucked him over.
Yep.
And ruined his military career. So great job, guys. And he just throws the drink in McMurray's face. Loved it.
And there's one Bogart movie that a lot of people forget when they think of Bogart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great performance, man.
It really is.
Because you do kind of feel sorry for him, Almost kind of like, I always kind of compare that in Jack Nicholson with A Few Good Men because Nicholson believed he did the right thing.
That's right.
He doesn't look at what he did as a bad thing. Yeah, it's sad the kid died, and he didn't mean for the kid to die, but hey, kid was a fuck up, man. Yep. Yes, From the Hip with Judd Nelson.
I haven't seen this in years.
But I loved it as a kid, man, and I think Judd Nelson was great. John Hurt was amazing in it. Just a really cool flick. It was funny in parts, but serious in others, and I love John Hurt in just about anything he does. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And he didn't have an alien.
List with,
he didn't have an alien coming at him either.
No, man. But but I've been a John Hurt fan ever since because my parents, they used to watch, pretty well-rounded folks, and they watched I, Claudius on Masterpiece Theater. And that's the first time I remember seeing him as a kid. And I was like this, and he played Caligula.
Oh.
So I'm like, man, what is wrong with this guy? Because I don't know if you've ever seen that dude, but they don't hold any bars with it. Like, they show you Caligula and all his.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, whoa. And that was the first time, even as a kid, I was like, whoa. I remember watching it going, should I be watching this? This is fucked up.
No, I know.
Fucked, but it's messed up. And then I saw him in Alien, but I've seen him in a lot of different movies, and I think he was a very, very great actor.
I
awesome
agree.
actor.
Absolutely. And then, so what's your final pick?
Philadelphia.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's a tearjerker too, but a damn good movie. And I'm sure there could have been other ones I could have picked, man. I mean, there's so many courtroom dramas, it's not even funny. But those were the ones that came immediately to my mind.
And that's perfect. That's a tremendous list, and I guarantee no one else is going to pick from the hip. So this is why we have you on, Metal Mike.
Thanks, man. You know, I like to, think outside the box sometimes.
We got to go deep, man. All right, it's been a while, but I'm back with my other brother, Brian. How you doing?
All right.
Cool. So we're going to court. We're going on trial, and we're going to do our favorite courtroom dramas, though I'm being loose with the quote-unquote drama. Like, if you do happen to find a courtroom comedy, which there may be some
one, actually, I'm adding one to my list.
Okay, that sounds
comedy,
good.
So, all right.
Courtroom drama is like the standard phrase people use when they're describing like courtroom movies.
It's I mean, there's definitely comedies that use the pattern of the drama.
Exactly, and probably a lot of people are going to pick that one movie. We'll get to
there's two I can think of, but there's one is on my favorite list.
Sure,
so,
might even have my in it, right?
Yeah. Might be.
Yeah. Cool. Let's just get right into it.
All right.
Let's go through it.
All right. Well, so I'll start with that one since we.
I'll give it away.
My Cousin Vinny.
Yes.
I just added that to my list now because you said we can do comedy. But I mean, I love that movie.
There's a little drama into it in the sense of they could go to jail.
Yeah. The characters do seem to be in genuine peril. Because they're relying on their cousin Vinny, who has no legal experience whatsoever, to get them out of a huge jam. And so
before that,
there's some genuine drama. And I think that helps with the comedy. Like there is, because of the tension that it builds it better. The comedy is better for that, I think.
That's a great point. And especially when the first lawyer that was kind of working with him. So Ralph Macchio was using Vinny, and then the other guy, which I forget his friend's name, was using the stuttering guy. So that's a great scene.
The lawyer is so fun. That guy is great. So many great character actors in that. And Fred Gwynn as the judge. It was Herman Munster.
Yes, and then the cop, the main sheriff, was the motorcycle guy in Animal House.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's in that. He's in
a lot of stuff.
I forget that guy's name, but he's in so many movies as a character actor. Yeah.
But Frank
Marissa Tomei was awesome. She won the
yeah.
Academy Award for that, right?
She did. She deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, it's a great movie. Even the main prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
He's a famous
he's good.
character actor too.
They're just all around great cast.
Yeah, great movie.
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio. You've got to forget the Karate Kid's in it too. Yeah. So.
And you didn't even think of him as the Karate Kid necessarily either. Like it was good. Like it was distinct character, so it was good.
Yeah, he didn't have to carry the film, so
it's true.
Pretty much Pesci. So
Pesci and Marissa Tomei.
That's right.
But that movie's great. And I mean, Legally Blonde is an honorable mention for the comedy dramas, but it's not one of my favorites, but I do like that movie a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Well, actually,
someone else might.
Rachel could have been on just for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but it's I wouldn't list it as a favorite of mine, but I do like it. Yeah.
So let's get into the actual drama.
So the dramas, all right. So no particular order.
Okay.
My first one is A Few Good Men.
Yeah, I think that's going to be on everyone's list.
It's just a classic. I mean, of course it's a military courtroom drama, but it's it perfectly cast in a lot of ways. I don't know. I mean, Jack Nicholson is the Marine colonel. And his
that famous scene,
assistant with his lieutenant Kiefer Sutherland and Kevin Bacon's in it.
Yep.
So it's connected to everyone else.
That's right. Of course, it's 7 degrees. Yeah,
6 degrees.
6 degrees. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought Tom Cruise is really good in that. He plays lawyers pretty well. I mean, he was in The Firm.
The Firm's great.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's not one of my favorites, but he was really good in that.
Demi Moore's in it.
Moore is good. Kevin Pollak is great. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like very tense drama.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's without being like, Rob Reiner directed it.
Yeah,
right?
he did.
So just think of him as comedy director.
It's really too bad because people only remember that movie pretty much for Nicholson's line. You can't handle the truth, but the movie's long. Like
the movie's pretty long. Yeah. There's a lot going on in that movie. It's really I think the ending was wasn't quite like the happy ending, but it was the right outcome. I think overall, so it was good.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. Yeah. Sometimes the best ending isn't the
happiest. It didn't cop out and make it super happy.
Exactly.
Like it could have done that. But
it had definitely a little mixed emotions going on.
Yeah. All right, my next movie is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I think, I don't know, most people think of their ideal lawyer as Atticus Finch. So that's, I don't know, probably my take on that too. Yeah, I mean, he's Gregory Peck, probably his greatest all-time role.
Yep.
I mean, he's probably most known for that.
Which is saying a lot because he's been in a lot of great movies.
Yeah, so, and the movie, I mean, the book is one of the all-time American literature classics, and the movie does no disservice to it whatsoever. It's a great movie.
Did you read the book first or see the movie?
Read the book first in class, and then we had to watch the movie as like an assignment to like compare the two. And so I remember writing we had to write like a movie review of the.
Oh, that's fun.
Movie.
Yeah,
but we had to work in like how it compared to the book.
That's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, that was kind of a good assignment. It was a great movie too. It was good to be able to watch a movie for homework.
Did you ever read the sequel that came out?
No, I didn't want to. I don't know. Did you read it?
I didn't, and I mixed emotions with that because I don't believe Harper Lee ever wanted it to really come out anyway. So
I'm not sure she did, and it's hard to know because she had the mental illness.
Exactly.
So it's hard to say if she's really wanted that out. So.
That's right.
And if she did write that, I don't know. Maybe she wrote it and then she needed to get it down on paper, but then it didn't. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to say. I didn't want to read it after.
What an amazing story, though. I mean, you basically write one of the most famous novels of all time, and that's it.
And that's about it. Yeah.
I
know.
Crazy.
One-hit wonder. But
yep.
What a hit.
What a hit. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So next I have Inherit the Wind.
Yes, this is a great one. I'm really glad you picked this.
Was it a 50s movie? I forget when it came out.
Yeah.
I think 50s. So Spencer Tracy is one of the stars.
Yep.
Frederick March and Gene Kelly are the two.
That's right.
Tracy and March are the opposing DAs, and this is a fictionalized account of the Scopes monkey trial.
That's right.
And pretty much all the characters are like true to their historical basis, but they just change all the names and everything.
Yeah.
So Gene Kelly is more or less supposed to play H.L. Mencken, the journalist, and Spencer Tracy is Clarence Darrow, except it's not his real name in the movie, not his name in the movie. And then March is William Jennings Bryan, who was famous for being a populist, like Cross of Gold speech and all that. If you remember back to history class,
yes.
So but he was defending or prosecuting the case, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, this is one where this would be the one they show in class if they didn't really feel like teaching that day.
I think I did watch it in history class in 11th grade or something like that.
But this is one where I'd watch outside of class.
Yeah, I watched it again once or twice since then. It was
still holds up.
Yeah, great movie, great courtroom drama.
Yeah,
one of my favorite of the older black and white kind of courtroom drama.
Yeah.
Because I've seen 12 Angry Men. Wait, is that?
Yeah,
12 Angry Men. I've seen it. I've seen 12 Angry Men, but I kind of felt like it's not something I want to revisit over and over, even though I thought like the acting is great and all that stuff. But, like, this
have you seen Amy Schumer's take on 12
No, I have. Oh, yeah, I think I did. It was like a skit that she did.
Yeah, basically, it's basically them like. I don't know. Is she lustable? Basically,
right.
Yeah, that's a kind way of putting it. So it's really funny.
Yeah, so that was good. Yeah. All right, and then my last one is The Verdict, starring Paul Newman.
Yeah,
I had to get a Newman one.
Absolutely.
And he's going up against James Mason in a medical malpractice case.
Right.
And the tough thing is that like they were offering a night for the time, like it takes place in like 1980 or something.
Yeah.
For the time, it was like a generous settlement of a few $100,000, and then he's a drunk and kind of out of his
down on his luck
attorney, and he's like, thinks, okay, well, this is an easy win, and then something happens and he decides that no, I have to fight this case.
Right.
So it's kind of like his path back to redemption,
exactly,
and like getting over his alcoholism, and then fighting for the just cause in this case.
Yeah,
so,
great movie. I mean,
great
pretty
acting.
much Paul Newman is a win-win no matter what.
Yeah, he didn't win the Oscar for this, although a lot of people expected him to win it for that, and people in retrospect or in later years have said he should have won that.
Who was the director?
I don't remember. Oh, I think Sidley
Lumet. Yeah.
It was written by David Mamet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Who also wrote A Few Good Men, I think.
That's right.
Or no, that was Sorkin.
So Sorkin wrote that one? Okay.
Yeah, I think, I don't know.
Okay.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, but Lumet and Mallet are like the go-to, the gold standard back then.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Good. So, what a great, that's a great list. All right. I'm glad I mentioned comedy so we can talk about My Cousin Vinny. So thanks, Brian. All right, we're back with Malin. Welcome back, Malin.
Hey, Brian.
All right, for this week, we're going to talk about, originally I was going to do courtroom dramas, and those are definitely still fine because that's like the standard term for them. But I also wanted to make it courtroom movies because there are other fun courtroom movies that aren't drama-based. So I'm opening it up to that. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what you have.
So you mean it's open to like Liar, Liar, and like garbage like that?
Exactly. We love garbage. So
it's true. I do. I don't usually like Jim Carrey, but and I wasn't going to include Liar, Liar, but it's funny that you mentioned that it's not just dramas anymore.
That's right.
I was only really looking at dramas, but now that you mention it, I guess there are like some really notable courtroom comedies. My Cousin Vinny, which I haven't seen, and Liar, Liar, which I've seen, but I don't like Jim Carrey. So
My Cousin Vinny was the reason we opened it up. So that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have any comedies for you.
That's okay. This is the original premise anyway, so let's get right into it.
Okay, cool. So first on my list is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, figure that I hope that's on more lists than just mine. But Gregory Peck is just fantastic in that, and I think a lot of us are of my generation at least are introduced to the book and the film probably during high school, but even outside of that, I think I'd seen it earlier on than that. It's just an amazing movie, and amazing characters, and just really fascinating issues being dealt with. Really rich film.
Did you read the book first, or did you see the movie?
I saw the movie first because I saw the movie as a child. I read the book as a young adult and saw the movie later as a teenager, so in a different context, and then read To the Watchtower last year.
Did the movie? So since you saw the movie first, which one do you actually like better?
Oh, I don't even remember. I don't remember. I think that I was so spoiled by my memory of the movie, and at that age, reading the book, it was difficult to read the book without seeing those actors
portraying them.
Portraying those characters. But the book is so beautifully written. Her descriptions of the town that they're living in are just really poetic and amazing.
Absolutely.
So I guess looking back on it now, I like the book a lot. I think it stands on its own. It certainly does. Next, The Accused with Jodie Foster and I think Kelly McGillis.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely brutal scene in there.
Oh yeah, that is a tough one to watch.
Yeah.
But the acting and the story and everything is really amazing, and the intensity of the courtroom scenes is really heightened by I guess just how much you get involved with these characters during the film. So it's interesting that it's a courtroom drama, but it's a character piece.
That's true, and it would have been interesting if they even I could see the actresses being flipped, where Kelly McGillis could have played the victim and Jodie Foster could have been the lawyer too.
Oh, absolutely, that's an interesting idea. So it's funny you mentioned that. So the National Theatre in London, they did a production of Frankenstein a while back, and they had Donnie Lee Miller and Benedict Cumberbatch playing Dr. Frankenstein and the creature on alternating nights. So one night it would be Cumberbatch as Dr. Frankenstein and Johnny Lee Miller as the creature, and then the next night or performance they would reverse it.
Oh, okay.
And that was really, really fascinating because to come back to your point about switching the roles, the two different versions of the production I thought were really interestingly different. Johnny Lee Miller was not playing the creature nearly the same way as Cumberbatch. Cumberbatch took a more kind of dejected adult trying to find an identity with kind of limited mental resources, but Johnny Lee Miller played it as kind of as though the creature were growing from an infant stage into adulthood by finding things out about himself and his quote unquote father. So anyway, my it just kind of made me think about switching their roles. I'm sure it would be really, really fascinating. I think it'd be fascinating to see how different it would be for them to switch.
Yeah, and I think it really makes sense in the example you gave, because that gives you motivation to go back and watch the same play again, because you're going to see kind of a different play. I think that's kind of really cool in a way.
Yeah, it absolutely was. Kind of maybe not like seeing a completely different play, but certainly it was like seeing almost a different production of it.
Exactly. What do you have next?
Next, this is the last one on my list, actually. Okay. Cry in the Dark, with everybody's favorite Oscar. My brain is just Sophie's Choice.
Oh, Meryl Streep.
Yes. Yeah, Death Becomes Her.
Yeah. So this came out in 1988.
Anyway, I Cry in the Dark, where she plays, based on true life event film, the mother who lost her child in the Australian outback becomes accused of being responsible for the death of the child.
Uh-huh.
And it plays out over decades, and Meryl Streep is just amazing in it. It's nearly impossible to see her kind of as Meryl Streep. She really just is
this role,
her character in that.
And then I'll if we're calling Meryl Streep Sophie's Choice lady, then Jurassic Park guy is in this too.
Yeah, Sam Neill.
Yeah,
it's her husband.
Yeah.
And Meryl Streep was in another really good courtroom film that is kind of almost going to mention that. Maybe I will anyway. Kramer versus Kramer.
Absolutely. Mike, who is on this podcast, that was one of his top ones because it's one of the few movies that really get into courtroom divorce. Usually it's murder cases or rape cases or, assault, but not necessarily divorce.
Yeah, I was going to mention it. I guess my hesitance is that it has a. Can I spoil something?
Sure.
This is not a spoiler-free zone, right?
No.
So I feel like the end has an unearned happy ending.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I'm a bit hesitant about putting it way up top of my list. Mm-hmm. But Meryl Streep is everyone is.
And does not, even the kid is too. But regarding spoiler alerts, the movie is almost 40 years old. So yeah, come on. You
can tell where they kind of take a left turn. It's like films really date themselves when you watch them, because if they're in like the 80s, maybe the late 70s, but certainly like the early 80s, mid to mid 80s drama movies that you can tell are meant for a much wider audience.
Yeah.
They'll go kind of full bent until about 2/3 of the way into the film, where you think, oh, we're going to get like some type of a payoff or whatever, and then they totally switch gears. They throw in the happy ending.
Yeah.
So there's all of this promise that you're going to get an exploration of some like really interesting, challenging issues, and you almost get there, and then they turn around and they're like, okay, well, we took you most of the way. Hope you thought of some like interesting stuff, had a good time, and here's your happy ending. Bye.
Yeah. Well, that's why the 70s were so great, because they were gritty and they didn't necessarily give you exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
So great picks, Malin. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian.
She's back.
Yay.
From the intro, that when she starts laughing, she's back. One of our favorite guests, Danielle. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So it's been a while, but you've been super busy. But you always tell me you want to be back on. Just finding the time.
Yes.
But we found the time, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
And so she's back. We're taking her to court. And that's the only way we can get her on the podcast.
Is it scary?
Yes, and we're suing you to get back on the podcast. So, to do it, we always ask you to come up Judge Danielle. If you didn't know already, one of Danielle's favorite shows is Judge Judy.
It's not my favorite. It's just like
fun.
It's my shame. How do you say
guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. It's funny.
It's great.
Hilarious to watch.
I'm a people's court kind of guy. So you like Judge Judy, and I think that's good. So as always, we always ask you to come up with a list. And some people come up with top 5. Some people do top 10. Usually you do a top 6, but today you top 7.
It's been so long, so why not?
You get one extra. So we do a top 7.
Okay.
So we usually go from number 7 down to number 1, just in case you forgot.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with number 7.
When I can count, right?
Yes.
Sometimes it doesn't go in that way.
She's a lefty. We never know what's going to happen.
Okay,
no,
go.
No.
You're waiting for me.
No, I'm the host. Yes, my fault. Number 7.
So first of it all, like, let's forget it now about number 7.
You told me to go.
I know. I don't know if it does like count. So let's hope so. So let's.
You're not sure if they're really courtroom movies? Okay.
I just like remember having court scenes in the movie.
Where you and Maylin get carte blanche. Like, I just kind of let you guys do whatever you want because you're good guests. So I hope whatever the listening audience loves this. So go ahead, do whatever you want.
So my number 7.
7. She's already skipping.
It is I Am Sam.
Okay.
And is with Champagne.
Yep.
And I forgot the little girl's name. Well, she's not a little girl anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's Susan Sarandon.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it she on the? So he has.
Well, she was also in Dead Man Walking with him.
Yeah, that's why I mixed it.
Okay.
But I don't know who was the lawyer. But anyway, I don't think it was her.
Okay.
Anyway,
I don't remember.
Go get your phone and find. Do a side search. I'm gonna be here like.
Now we know. Now we know who runs.
Go on that there. I'm gonna be here talking.
She'll just start laughing. It doesn't matter. Anyway,
I don't know if it counts as a court movie.
You know, I know of I Am Sam. It's the famous movie because of Tropic Thunder, where they always talk about you don't go full whatever because he went full retard. That's what they say. Oh
my god, I didn't know that.
And so when he did, that's why it was kind of panned.
It's beautiful. The movie is so sad, and he has mental issues, and he's raising his daughter. Mm-hmm. But so there's a time that he cannot do it anymore. Or it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
And then Dakota Fanning's the little girl.
Yeah, the girl. I think the lawyer is, I don't remember as well, but she's very arrogant. And to prove that she's not, like she's a good person, she takes his case pro bono. And she started representing him. And he moves her. It's like, he loses the daughter in the movie. Yeah. A lot happens, but it's so sad. And Champagne, he's really good actor. So
he's a great actor.
Very convincing and is very emotional. So there is court scene.
There's court scenes in there. Okay.
So yes, I'm counting it.
Good enough for me. It's probably not the traditional courtroom movie, but good job.
Thank you.
Number 6.
Number 6, it's The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Okay.
So
this could have been one of your favorite horror movies, too.
It's not my favorite horror movie. I watched it, like, a while ago. I don't remember 100%. But I know this was inspired, and not inspired, how do you say? Like
based on a true story?
Based on a true story of a girl. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Emily Rose is a girl. Anyway. So there is the court name, because there's always exorcism at that time. It was like if you had epilepsy, they would think that was something wrong. It was spiritual and everything. So actually in the movie, as well as in this story, like if you go search online, the real case, they try.
Do you remember what year this was? In the 1800s, 1700s?
I don't remember. Okay. But I do go your search. That's your job.
Thank you. Danielle is now the producer of the show.
Where's English? She should be like while I'm talking. Should be looking.
Yeah, exactly. Winley's the one that does it. But no, like.
No, I'm kidding. Anyway,
you never let me know your picks. How am I supposed to research?
I know, but anyway, the movie's great. It is like they put like the horror issue. Of course, it's a horror movie. Yeah. Because they're not going to explore the epilepsy thing. But at the end of the day, the story is she dies because of the exorcism, and the movie's because of that. Okay. She died by malnutrition, and like all that, because she was tired and like didn't feed her. So this happened in real life.
Okay.
So I really like that movie. I like horror movies, but when it's like makes it like that, you know. Of course, for my opinion, she did have epilepsy. It was nothing spiritual.
No.
So, but it's a very interesting movie. Of course, it's very horror. This, you know, you jump from the chair, like freaking so annoying. Yeah. But it is a good movie because it's inspired on
a true story.
Yes, that was not. It's not supernatural. Before people think like, oh, she believes. No. It's inspired on her true story that. The Catholic Church had to go through court because you know what they did.
They're doing stuff like this. Well, no, it's like doctors, if they thought you had a headache, they'd drill you a hole in your head to let out the evil spirits. So times have changed a little bit.
Yes.
So, number 5.
So it is Primal Fear.
That's a great movie.
I have said that movie
with Richard Gere.
Yes, and Norton.
Edward Norton. Actually, I believe Metal Mike, who's on there, that was one of his picks.
Oh, okay.
Or possibly Keith. I'll have to listen again.
So anyway, I think it's a great movie. Mm-hmm. Also, I watched
great ending
years ago. I would never imagine the ending.
Yeah.
I would never, even when the guy said those, I thought like, okay, he's pretending all this time that he has some, you know, he has double personality.
Don't give it away.
Oh shit. Anyway. And then you killed my motto. Like I was going through that. And that's true. I cannot say that. But and it's an old movie. If you didn't watch until then, just too bad.
Okay, go ahead. Explain it.
I'm not.
We will say it's an unexpected ending.
It is totally unexpected.
Yeah.
I thought I had it. You know, like when Richard Gere turns to him and asks, I was like, oh, I knew it. And then he answers like, shit, I didn't know. Yeah. So it was good.
No, it's a good twist. It's a really good... I don't know if... The reason I didn't want you to explain it, I don't know if a lot of people have seen it. That's the thing. It's a good movie.
Because I don't think people think Richard Gere is a good actor.
Right, they think like, Pretty Woman.
It's an old movie. I'm not going to waste my time watching that, you know. Mm-hmm. But it is... I don't like him as an actor, for sure. But the movie itself, the plot is really good.
But Edward Norton's a great actor.
He's great, yeah.
Yeah, very difficult to work with, they say, but good actor. Number 4.
It is also based on true stories. Erin Brockovich.
That is definitely based on a true story in California, and
we're having this right now.
PG&E, yeah.
I know, but it is a court movie.
Well, I mean, she does take them to court. Yeah, I mean, that's...
Come on, she's a legal assistant.
Do they actually go to court? I'm trying to remember.
No, I never saw a court scene in the movie because it's always based on her. But...
It's a legal movie.
Oh, come on, it's all the same.
No, it's not legal. I said courtroom movie. You got to be in court.
Well, they did. We just don't see it happening.
Yeah, she's right.
They just show the results.
Exactly. At the end, they say, da-da-da-da-da,
No, it's not at the end. It's all the time because she works with a lawyer, so there's always court going on. She just don't go there.
This is why we have you on.
Because she doesn't go there because she's the assistant. She doesn't need to. She deals with the case that will go through court.
Right.
But we don't need, it's implied.
So, okay. This has turned into an implied courtroom movie. So.
Well, take it or leave it.
I'm going to take it because I want to have you on again. So, but all seriousness, this is probably one of her best roles.
Yeah.
And I think she might have won an Academy Award for it.
Yeah, I think she did. But I like her in the Mona Lisa Smile. Too.
Oh, she's great. She's a great actress. But this is, to me, if you're getting like a top 5, it's in her top 5.
Yes. She's really good.
Yeah.
She's really good in that movie.
No, I agree.
Very moving as well.
Yes.
It's really good.
Number 3. Let's see actually if they go to court on this one.
So, number 3. Number 3 is also based on a true story, and I love that movie. It's Big Eyes.
So I've never seen this, but you've always talked about it.
So Big Eyes is from Tim Burton.
Yes,
and it is based on the life of the Margaret. I don't know her name. That her last Kane, something like that. And she is the artist that paints that those portraits with. Where the dolls have big eyes. And she was verbally abused. I don't think verbally abused, but she was mentally abused by her husband.
Margaret Keane?
Yes.
Yeah.
And her husband takes credit for her work. And
So Christoph Waltz plays her husband.
Oh, he's a jerk.
But he's a great actor.
I know. That's why I hate him on that movie. I can stand the guy. I don't like the actress as much.
Amy Adams?
Yeah, okay. I don't think she's great, but she's good on that role.
Yeah.
But they could have a better actress to do that role.
Yeah.
But him is disgusting. I can't stand him. So she's kind of bland, but okay, it's
she does
fine.
The job.
But the movie is based on the artist's life, and there is a court scene.
Okay.
Where they need to prove who is painting,
the real artist.
Because he put her on a small room and she's paint all the time, and he's pretending he is the artist.
He's taking all the credit.
So it's so sad. And she finally can breathe and she owns it, and I don't know who sues who, and they go to court.
Okay.
See,
they really good. It's not implied court.
No, it's not the whole movie. It's on court,
it's
but
a key
it happens.
scene, yeah.
But it is the important scenes is in the courtroom.
Yeah.
So it is so cute. It is a cute movie, very moving, and I really like it.
No, this is one I definitely want to see. I haven't seen this one.
You should.
Yes.
It's really good.
Okay. Number 2.
Oh, I that movie is so sad.
Number 2?
Yeah.
Well, are you going to tell us?
No. Because I'm going to cry. Anyway, I'm leaving. Bye. It is Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And I cried from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Every time I see that movie, I cry. When I listen the song, I have tears on my eyes.
The Bruce Springsteen song.
So, what can I say about that movie? It's amazing. It is amazing.
I mean, between Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, it's hard to say who's better because they're both equally. They both play off each other really well.
Yes. But I think, wow, Tom Hanks, he always surprises us, right?
Well, that was the beginning of him going on his level of nobody's better than Tom Hanks in the 90s. Because before he was a comedic actor in the 80s.
Exactly.
And then I think Philadelphia was his first, and then he did Forrest Gump and Apollo 13. I mean, he did all of the end Castaway.
Castaway was amazing.
Every movie he did was one after another.
I think you know who it's kind of like him. I think Matthew
McConaughey?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he goes beyond what he
is now, yeah.
There's that movie, Dallas Buyers
Club.
Was a great movie. My God.
Yeah.
That movie is amazing.
Yeah.
So Tom Hanks convinces he's amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
And that's a courtroom movie.
It
right?
is.
Thank you.
It is. You're welcome. Good job. Okay, number 1. Let's see if
number 1, there's no way that's not a courtroom.
Judge Judy goes to Philadelphia. Is that what
Judge Judy goes to... I can say the things with the braces and my accent, it doesn't come out as Judge Judy. It's hard.
So
and
it's
I speed it all over when I try.
Yeah, you should see my computer right now. Judge Judy.
I know, I'm dry.
Okay.
So this movie was...
Well, what movie is it?
Calm down. It's can I surprise the people?
Number 1. We hope you're still listening.
I know. They fall asleep already.
After Exorcist of Emily Rose, they're like, okay, I'm out.
No, they're mad because I said the end of the... I told the end of the...
she's going to spoil all of these.
Yeah. Anyway, it's A Time to Kill.
Oh, yeah.
So, wow. Sandra Bullock, Samuel L. Jackson.
And Matthew McConaughey.
And
Yeah.
But he doesn't... he's the key thing on that movie, kind of.
He's the lead, but actually Samuel L. Jackson plays a more powerful role in many ways because he's got to keep... he's the one dealing with everything. He's the one that lost his daughter.
Yes. But Matthew, I cannot say his last name.
McConaughey.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's like the savior, right?
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, that last scene that I cannot say because people probably said, but that ending.
So that's your favorite Grisham movie?
My what?
So John Grisham is the author that wrote this book that turned into a movie.
Okay.
There's other movies like The Runaway Jury, The Firm.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite.
The one with Denzel, Pelican Brief?
No.
Okay, yeah.
I like Pelican Brief,
yeah.
But I think this one, because it talks about racism and, how it was, how it could be, how happened. And it is True, not the
Oh,
movie, but
no,
like
it's
it's not
in the
a
Deep South,
yes, and the ending, his closing statement.
Yeah.
I cried my eyes out. I mean, I really cried on that. I wasn't expecting him to say what he said, and he's, the last sentence when he brings up, and wow. So it is my favorite. So
that's
my
a great.
number one.
That is definitely a courtroom movie.
From out of 7, I got 2 at least, right?
But it's a thriller too, and besides Sandra Bullock's great, Kevin Spacey plays the other DA.
Yes, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. Ashley Judd plays his wife, Matthew McConaughey's wife, and Oliver Platt's in it. It's just, and Kiefer Sutherland's in it too. So it's a great cast. It's really worth your time. It's actually Grisham's first book, but it really wasn't well known until The Firm came out. Oh. And then The Firm sold crazy, and then they re-released The Time to Kill. So my dad had all of Grisham's books, so I know about a lot of these. But most of Grisham's novels that turned into movies are all great, but this is definitely one of them.
Okay, great.
Well, you're like whatever. No. We just want a spoiler, huh?
Oh my!
As always, we love having you on. Come back whenever you want. You can do a top 27 list if you want to,
right?
And you can spoil whatever movie you like.
Thank you.
All right. We are officially on Spotify now, so if you don't use iTunes, if you don't use the Podbean app, you can go to Spotify and get all of our past episodes. You can stream it on there, so if you're a Spotify user, you can go find Damn Good Movie... I can't even say my own podcast. Damn Good Movie Memories. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. I'm the host, right? Okay, so go to Spotify, look for Damn Good Movie Memories. You can stream all of that stuff. And yeah, so if you don't want to use iTunes, you don't want to use Podbean, you can use Spotify as well. All right, before we sign off, we do have t-shirts are available for sale. All you have to do is go to TeePublic, that's TeePublic.com, and you can get your very own Damn Good Movie Memories t-shirt. You can get all sizes, any gender, you can get whatever you want just at the tip of your fingers. So just go to TeePublic.com, look up Damn Good Movie Memories, and you can get your very own t-shirt. If you enjoy this podcast and are an iTunes user, please do the show a favor and head on over to the official iTunes page for Damn Good Movie Memories. Be sure to leave a rating and a review. This will allow the show to appear higher in the algorithm and spread the joy of this podcast to the masses. If you are not an iTunes user, you can still listen and subscribe on Podbean at damngoodmoviememories.podbean.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook under our Damn Good Movie Memories page. You can also listen to a limited number of episodes on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and be sure to tune in next week for an all-new episode of Damn Good Movie Memories.
I am Dr. Fuck.
And I'm the Alto Alcoholic.
And we are part of the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
We are the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
That's right. And the way you can check us out is we are on iTunes and also Podbean. And we forgot a review recently. I got this review right here. It says right here, it says, Rock and Metal Combat Podcast is the greatest podcast in the world, and it's my #1 podcast, signed by Science. Now, and then Science also says... Science also said... My second favorite podcast is It Doesn't Matter, the rest suck. Rock and Metal Combat Podcast on iTunes and Podbean. Check it out.
Science!